Morning, folks. Nate here with Murray Farm and Ranch. Got a new project going here on the ranch. We got about 3/4 of a mile of water line to put in. I want to show you a new piece of equipment that hopefully is going to make this job much easier. So guys, this behind me right here is a trencher to go on the skid steer. This is through a company that you've probably heard us talk about before, Skid Pro. I own a brush cutter and pallet forks from that company. It is an American company, I believe out of Minnesota, if I believe correctly. And so far I've been really impressed with their equipment. I'm not sponsored. They should sponsor me because I use their stuff and I make videos about them, but I'm not. So you might ask, Nate, why did you buy a machine that's several $1,000s when you could just rent one? And the answer is I ran the numbers on renting. Like I said, this is going to be about 3/4 of a mile of water line, so over 4,000 feet of water line. I cannot do that in a weekend. I can't probably do that in 2 weekends. And so I looked to see how much it was going to cost to rent a trencher. And I felt like that if it was going to take me 4 weekends to rent, I was going to be really close to what it was going to cost me to just buy one. And if I buy one, I'll write it off on taxes. I have it for other projects, and I can always use it as a side gig, a side hustle. Somebody needs a water line put in, boom, I'm your guy. $75 an hour, boom, I'm there. So anyway, I went with the purchase, and I'm fixing to. I haven't unwrapped the thing; it's still in plastic. I'm fixing to unwrap it, and the fella that I've been dealing with through Skid Pro, he recommends that you dry run it for about 10 minutes and then check the chain to make sure that put the correct amount of tension on it, and then you're supposed to run it for about another 30 minutes, light use in the ground, and then you need to check it again. So I'm going to start working on that today, and we might even dig a little bit of trench today with it. All right, folks, got her hooked up. Fixed to unwrap the plastic and check her out. Like I said, this is a trencher from Skid Pro. They make several different models. This one, I believe, has a setting for 24, 30, and 36 inches. They make them that they'll dig deeper than that. Here in Oklahoma, our frost line is like 12 inches. My contract with the NRCS states that I have to have my line 18 inches. My setting here, the shallowest setting is 24, so my lines are going to be at least 24 inches, which is going to be super. That's going to be great for here. There's going to be no worry about these things freezing. So I'm going to get this thing unwrapped, and then like I said, the salesman that helped me with the purchase, he said you really want to make sure and run this thing just dry out of the ground for about 10 or so, 10-15 minutes. And there's a tension bolt to retension your chain. And then he said after about 30 minutes or so of digging, you may want to do that again. And he said that what you don't want is you don't want this chain to come off, because I'm sure that it is super hard to get back on. And so I'm gonna take a lot of care to make sure that this thing does not come off. So I want to hit a couple of high points here. So it came factory installed with the couplings on here. That's nice. It came with the hoses and couplings. If you have to go buy your couplings, you're gonna spend close to $100, or at least that's what it cost the last time I had to get some. I have bought implements before that did not come with them. Get them home, you get ready to use them, you go to hook them up, no couplings. That's real frustrating. And I live an hour away from a place to get them, so it cost me an afternoon of working. So it's nice that they come with the hoses and the couplings. It's got, I don't know if you, I'm gonna get a close up of these, but it's got some carbide teeth for digging through the hard stuff. There's a close up of those carbide teeth. You can see that stuff is gritty and rough and looks like it'll do the job. Here's our setting tool. So like I said, mine has a setting of 24, 30, and 36 inches deep. So specifications on this: 24, 36, 48, 60, 6 inches wide, and it has a combination of earth and tungsten trenching teeth. And here's my model number. So, can't wait to get her turned on and see what happens. Woo-wee, folks. Let me tell you, I put a day in the skid steer. So I want to give you my final impressions. I got in the machine this morning at 7:30. I took an hour lunch, and I got out at 3:30. In that amount of time, I had completed almost on the nose 1,500 feet of line, or of trench. It is 24 inches deep, 6 inches wide. I was really impressed with how well the machine clears out the trench. Cut it at 24 inches, and when you get done and measure it, it's 24 inches, which is, I think, great. That's the second thing, is it was very consistent. So on the bottom right here, there's a skid plate, and that skid plate, when you put the trencher down, that skid plate, however you have it set, like with mine it's 24, 30, or 36 inches, is how far it's going to allow that chain to cut. And it was very consistent. It basically, you know, as long as you kept your skid plate down, it cut that consistent depth, which for me was 24 inches. I was very impressed with that. I did bog the machine down a couple of times, but it was typically when I would start moving too fast. It was very slow, methodical, just trenching. I would just, you know, I had my hand on the controls, and I was just, you know, letting the machine do the work and inching myself back. And if I ever kind of got ahead of myself and tried to go a little too fast, it would start to bog the machine down. But overall, final impressions for the first 7 hours worth of work is that it's going to be worth the money. I feel like it made an extremely consistent trench. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and you know, I think it's going to be a real asset here on the farm. So, thumbs up. 1,500 feet of line, 7 hours. Now I got to 1,500 feet of trench. So tomorrow morning it's going to be time to lay some pipe, and we're going to get that 1,500 foot set. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you. If you're looking into the Skid Pro line, so far I have been very impressed with their products. They are American made. Give Ryan a call at Skid Pro. He has done me well. He seems to always answer my questions, and everything that I've purchased from them so far, it has been spot on as he has described it. So support your USA made manufacturers. Until next time, God bless.